Paris has the Eiffel Tower, New York has the Statue of Liberty, but Oban's got McCaig's Tower. And it's spectacular.
Described as a hollow but haunting monumental ring of granite, McCaig's Tower dominates Oban from high on Battery Hill.
Due to the unevenness of the ground, the walls go from 30 feet to almost 50 feet in height. They're made of solid granite and they're over 2 feet thick.
The view is magnificent, a gorgeous sweep of scenery that takes in the Isles of Mull, Carrera and Lismore. The tower was designed and constructed by John Stuart McCaig. He was the second son of a farmer born on the Isle of Lismore in 1823. And today I'm meeting one of his descendants.
My great-great-great-grandmother is Agnes McCaig, who I think is a first cousin of John Stuart McCaig.
So how important are the McCaigs as a family to Oban?
Well, I think they're very important.
When McCaig came here as a boy, virtually none of this existed. In fact, he was one of the men that built the modern Oban that we know today.
John McCaig certainly had, I think, possibly could be said, quite a high opinion of himself, but as a family they were quite important to the town, yes.
He was a very, very astute businessman, very clever, and I think I would have liked him.
Construction began in 1897, but it was never completed. All work stopped on McCaig's death in 1902. But why did he build it?
The family became extinct, and maybe that was partly what was the motivation, was to try to have something, instead of having children and grandchildren and so on and having these descendants, that will be an everlasting memorial, which has been achieved.
The tower was originally intended to hold a collection of statues of McCaig and all his brothers and sisters.
He'd left instructions for his work to be completed, and what he wanted to do really was quite vulgar. I think he'd maybe gone just even more than eccentric, and was planning huge statues to sit on the uppermost, right on the top of the walls. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt that he must have been tripping over his ego.
But the other reason was philanthropy. McCaig had seen that many local stonemasons didn't have any work during the winter months, and building the tower would give them employment and income to feed their families. So it was never a folly. McCaig had very good reasons for building his tower.
With John McCaig, his purpose here was philanthropic and to give local people work. So tower we like, folly we don't think fits. Yeah.
One mystery that remains is where the McCaig money came from. They were born into a poor farming family in Lismore, but rose to become one of the most important families in Oban. But Fiona has a theory that's been passed down through the generations of her family.
Now, there's some stories that have been handed down through family, just anecdotal stuff, to say that they'd actually found buried treasure of some sort on Lismore, and this was what allowed them, gave them a lift. And maybe there's some truth in that, because it is quite a staggering leap from being more or less dirt poor and from a huge family to being extremely wealthy.
All of this was the result of one man's eccentric vision. Some deemed it a wasteful and absurd use of money, but it can't be denied that whether it was philanthropy or just plain ego, Oban got itself something truly unique that will last forever. And that's exactly what McCaig wanted.
I would think a lot of people take it rather for granted, in much the way that Londoners will probably walk past Big Ben or Buckingham Palace.
You can't come to Oban and not come here. You see it from every single place in the town. It's an absolute wonderful feat of engineering. I feel that it's not really fully appreciated. This huge gift, generous gift that we've got in Oban that nowhere else has got.
For over 100 years, McCaig's Tower has been, and still is, Oban's crown.